Happy Friday, folks. We're going to be getting into the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors here. We're going to be talking predominantly here on Minicamp. That's what it's all about. Let's get this thing started right now. If you were to rank the Lions secondary in the NFL, where would you have them ranking? 1 through 32, 1 being they are the best, 32 if you think they are the worst. Let's get into the observations right now, and we're going to be starting with the Lions secondary, and it is much improved with the players that they picked up in Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Terrion, Arnold, and Ennis Rakestraw. The whole room is completely retooled, and the observations showed that they're extremely sticky, they're difficult, and it's giving Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker some issues. Robertson and Davis got multiple hands on football, and Arnold had a terrific interception on Jared Goff. That was the first day of minicamp, and it just continued on there. The physicality did ramp up, and Detroit's secondary truly was looking pretty good out there, and it appears to be significantly improved from what it was last year. So this is the biggest part of news so far that we have seen in minicamp, and you can bring into OTAs as well, is yes, we revamped this secondary. We did it last year. It didn't work out. We did it this year, and it's working out. It's very sticky out there. Arnold and Davis are looking like a really good 1-2 combination. In the battle with the Meek and the nickel corner position when it comes to Brian Branch or anybody else is in there like Rakestraw, it's fun. And right now, the secondary is doing a good job. All we're really waiting on right now is continuity, and that's going to be over time. But this legitimately could be a strength of the Detroit Lions, having a good secondary, something that we haven't talked about in many years. So this is a good development. We wanted to see what has taken place, and this is exactly what is happening. That is good news. Rank the Lions secondary. 1 if you think they are the best. 32 if you think they are the worst. Let's continue on with the observations right here. And competition at wide receiver has been absolutely fun. And this is both competitions for number 3 and just making the team. St. Brown has been fantastic. No competition there. Jameson Williams had a really good camp so far. He's established himself, in my opinion, as the number 2 wide receiver, and that's good. We expected him to take this step here, and they're doing it right now with the wide receiver, Jameson Williams. Khalif Raymond and Donovan Peoples-Jones are battling it out. I still think that Khalif has a little bit of an edge right there, and Antoine Green is fighting to make the roster. Offensively, for the wide receivers, it is a fun battle. Now, we don't know exactly how it's going to end out, right? We got to see if we need to establish, if we need to get another wide receiver. Right now, we don't have to because it's the minicamp and they're battling it out. This will rage on in the training camp. And we still don't know if we need one, but right now the competition is fun, and it's good to see these guys fighting out. So nothing bad at the wide receiver position. This is the best roster Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell has had since they have established this football team, been part of it. Absolutely amazing roster. And you can see it throughout the whole team with all the battles taking places in the high-end roster. We thought that there potentially could be weaknesses on the defensive line. Levon Wuzurike standing out great. He's doing really good. Helping out. Broderick Martin comes in fit. They're more athletic and fast on the defensive line. The secondary is great. This is the best roster, hands down, from starters to depth chart for this team. When you look at your starting corner right now, Terrion Arnold or Carlton Davis, it's not that big of a difference from when you're looking down Emmanuel Mosley, right, and the rest of these corners. So the roster is magnificent, and you can see it in minicamp. You can see it in OTAs. This is the best roster this organization has had under Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. This may be the best roster working out all around. That's what we're seeing here. And this is great. Their plan that they have done is to perfection. They're building through the draft, get selected free agents, and let the development of the coaches take over and this be a quality football team. It has worked. Their plan is working, and it continues to work. The defensive line depth is amazing. We just talked about that with a little bit of Levi and Uzurike. Now, we haven't seen some folks practice. We don't need to really pay attention to what DJ Reader's in right now in practice, right? It doesn't really matter. We know what he's going to bring. We know what Lee McNeil's going to be bringing. We talked about it. Levi, Broderick, other individuals stepping up for the Detroit Lions. And lastly, and surely not least, is continuity. It's making a significant difference that you're seeing from all offense and defense and special teams. You know, this offense is just a machine at this point. The continuity has been there with Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, and you can tell offense is good. Aaron Glenn's defense is picking up the continuity, him staying as DC. Now it's working defensively, and Flip is doing the best that he can do with the new rules. So continuity has worked, and it's doing good for this football team, and they look good in minicamp. This offense, this defense is going to be great. So I got a question for you. Rank the Lions offense, 1 through 32, 1 being the best, 32 if you're delusional. Dan Campbell wants to win the Super Bowl. He spoke to the media, says, yeah, I think I just remembered that we're playing for. Campbell said of his message for the veterans as they departed minicamp, each individual, what do you want? What do you want out of this year? What do you want as a take to set it up here for February? Where's your mind? So this is about that. They're working backwards from that. That'll be the message. He says he wants the whole enchilada. Folks, that's the way that it should be. Your head coach should want to win a Super Bowl. That should be the goal this year. So when he came out and said, I want the whole enchilada, it's Super Bowl without the bust, I agree. That is the mentality we must have for this football team. And I'm glad he put it out there. That's what it's all about. All about. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit here about potential positions that could be switched. And this was talked about a little bit by Tim 20man. And he had 5 players identified that could be switching positions. One he had was Brian Branch. And it's like this is inevitable. He's a universal player, so I don't even know this is like a player who could be, quote-unquote, switching positions. He just does it all, so he's still going to be safety, but he's going to play linebacker, corner. Maybe he'll predominantly play safety this year compared to last year. We don't know that. But it's possible, right, that he could be doing a little bit more. So, yeah, could he be a switch position? I understand him on this list, but he's a really universal player, so I'm not worried about it. He has Colby Sorsdal as well. The offensive line, obviously, they all could be switched. Colby Sorsdal didn't play good last year. He's in development. Could they switch him in different parts of the offensive line? 110%. And we'll see that throughout the year, so I agree with this one. Now, as Sorsdal, he's definitely got to pick his game up, though. The Lions didn't play around this year in the draft, picking up 2 offensive linemen, and then in undrafted, they pick up a couple centers. They want this offensive line to be improved. Colby Sorsdal better do that, or he could be changed a little bit. Malcolm Rodriguez, absolutely. He is still going to be said linebacker for him, but he plays offense. He plays special teams. He plays fullback. He does it all. I don't think his position will, quote-unquote, officially be changed to fullback. Not at all. I think it'll be kind of about what we saw last year. Same thing where he'll be out there defensively, special teams, and he'll take snaps at fullback or wherever. But yeah, it could be, quote-unquote, could be. Next player here on the list is Parker Hess. He's played tight end. He's not going to make it as a tight end, in my opinion. He's going to have to attempt to do something else. Maybe, I don't know, it could be a fullback type of role or a pass rusher. Something else. Edge rusher would be a good spot for him if they could switch him up. Then he'd potentially make the team because, in my opinion, you're not making the team as a tight end. Just not going to do that because the team is pretty good. Question: if you ain't subbed, have you subbed yet? Let us know in the comments. Sub right now, though, so you don't miss out on the latest Lions news and rumors. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Next player that could be switching positions here, Graham Glasgow. He plays center as a backup. Last year, he played right guard more. This year, he could be at left guard 100%. That's could be where he'd be because Zeitler played right guard. So he actually could be switching the position here on the offensive line from right to left. And I honestly think that's how it is going to go. So Brian Branch, universal player. He'll play everywhere. I still think he's going to say safety on depth chart and, you know, how they put the roster together. Colby Sorsdal, he could be playing a different position on the interior offensive line. Or he could be maybe put to tackle. Malcolm Rodriguez, I think he's primarily going to stay linebacker, but he did play fullback last year, and he does play special teams. I think he'll still say linebacker, but he'll play offense as well. Parker Hess, we really don't know. Try out edge, because that's how he's going to make this team. It's probably not going to be as a tight end. Graham Glasgow, a little bit of a switch, not that big of a deal from right to left. Nothing major right there. What is major, though, is subscribing to this channel and hitting that notification bell. You never know when the videos are going to be dropped. You don't know if there's breaking news. You want to hit that sub button. You want to hit that like button, and you want to hit that notification bell. It's so you don't miss out in the latest Lions news and rumors. With that said, folks, adios.